Good evening. We'd like to begin our January meeting with the pledge to the flag, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Just to let you know, tonight we are live. We will be televised probably for the next month or so on cable TV, so this is our live meetings this evening. At this time, if everybody's had a chance to look over the minutes and operating statements for last month, we're looking for a motion to approve.
I'll make
Go ahead.
a motion we approve November operating statements, December 18th, 2023 council meeting minutes, and Quantum's financial statements for December 2023.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Noes, motion's carried. We'll move on down to the mayor's report. Wasn't really a big month this month, but the Maryland Municipal League Legislative Committee started meeting on January the 10th, in which I'm a member of the Legislative Committee. We will be meeting from now until the end of session in April, every Wednesday. Thank goodness there are going to be virtual meetings. The first meeting was in Annapolis, but the rest of them will be virtual, so I won't have to drive back and forth to there every week. Through the Maryland Municipal League, they have emergency and management committee that started this past summer, and we meet on the second Thursday of every month, and that is virtual also. This Wednesday would be at the county office building, the WRCC meeting that we have every month, and that's at 2:30 at the county office building. And the only other thing that I think that we have to make people be aware of, that at snowstorms, legally there is no parking on Main Street during a snowstorm. When the snow emergency plan is in effect, there's not supposed to be any parking on Main Street, which is very hard to enforce. But the other thing is, within 24 hours, everybody's supposed to have their sidewalks cleaned. And there's a lot of sidewalks in town that have not been touched yet. So just to let you know, if somebody falls on your sidewalk, you're the ones liable, not the town. So I'm advising you to get out there, get your sidewalks cleaned off in 24 hours. We're a little short-handed right now. We will be going around, and we will be either cleaning the sidewalks for you and giving you a bill, or we'll have a contractor come in, and the contractor will do it, and then you will pay the contractor. So, you have a choice, either do it yourself, pay somebody to do it, or the town will have it done with a contractor, and then you will pay a lot more for it. So, and if you don't pay it, they go get your tax bill at the end of the year. So one way or the other, we're going to get your money. So I advise you to clean it yourself. There's a lot of young children around town. There's looking for some odd jobs that would, you give them a phone call, and they'll come out and clean your sidewalks for you. So I'd advise you, let's play it safe and get your sidewalks clean. This time, we'll go to our attorney, Mandy Porter.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Last week, I had sent Dawn a copy of the RTF add-on description and the survey for the land that Jerry Stanball would like to purchase from the town. When we discussed this back in November, we didn't have a total square feet of what that was going to look like, and this has the total description as 11,232 square feet. Back in November, Jerry had thought that it was going to be around 10,000 square feet, and he was willing to purchase the property, the total area, for $2,000, plus he would pay all costs involved, which is the appraisal. He paid for the survey and any costs involved for my fees for that as well. According to the appraisal that was done by Dave Straitman, the square footage price is at 19 cents per square foot, which would equal, for the amount that he is looking to purchase, $2,134.08. so it's a little bit over what he is offering. I have drafted ordinance 319 with the original offer of the $2,000 plus cost. Added in here that it gives the mayor the ability to sign any contract of sale, deeds, agreements, settlement statements, or any other documents related to that. And also there is a portion of this that has laid out about the 15-foot grading and utility easement. If you saw on the description of the property prepared by RTF, that was laid out in there as well.
Right.
That there would be a 15-foot grading and utility easement. And that's also shown on the survey plot if you look at it. And that would be, it shows it 15-foot grading and utility easement, and it's towards the rear of the property and to the side. So in order to effectuate the sale of this property, the town would have to have an ordinance in place. Mayor would have to sign that, introduce, the 20 days would have to lapse, and then it would become an ordinance, and then we could move forward with the sale of the property. But again, I just wanted to let the town know that there is that difference for the square footage in the sense, but again, Mr. Samball has paid already for multiple services, and he intends to pay for all of my time that's associated with this.
I don't see the reason to increase the fee for the land that's involved because it's really no good to us. And with the fees and everything that Mr. Stanball has offered to pay, I think it's more than reasonable that we don't have to forfeit any of those costs that he agreed to pay, surveys and the attorney's fees and things like that. So it's up to the council if they want to pass the ordinance or introduce ordinance or 319 the way it is, or they want to increase the price.
I make a motion that we approve the Town of Union Bridge ordinance number 319 concerning the sale of the property to, as written.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any questions? Hearing none, all those ayes?
Aye.
Noes?
I'm recusing.
Okay. All right. Well, this the copy you want me to sign, or you have a different copy? Or we'll have to wait 20 days?
We'll have to wait for that.
Okay, all right, okay.
The next thing on the agenda is the update for American Towers. I had went back to Jessica Garcia, and she came back with some revisions. The main revision is the fact that it's not American Towers, it is GTP Towers 1 LLC, which is owned by American Towers, but they are the ones that will be a part of the sublease for the Telagia Communications Incorporated. And then the only other revision that they made is I had proposed that any revisions to the sublease, they would have to include the town. They want it to be just the rent, if there's an issue with the rent. I don't see any problems with that because that's where we had the issues with T-Mobile, was the rent and them terminating the lease, which those are the two things that are incorporated with this.
Okay,
And this, other than that, everything else is as prepared back
Okay.
from December.
okay. Anyone have any questions on the cell phone tower lease? Okay, that's it, be it. We are. Thank you.
And that's all for me for tonight.
Okay. Well, we're moving right along. We have a report, but I know Deputy McGinnis is on vacation this week. He's down in the islands. I guess he's enjoying himself with our cold weather here. So we will move right along to public comments and concerns. Anyone have anything? Okay, we'll move right along here this evening. All right, we'll start with committee reports. Sherry.
Okay, mine's going to be short and sweet. I attended the town council meeting on December 18th, and I attended Dream Big Union Bridge New Year's Eve event on 12/31/23, and that's it
Okay.
for me.
Well, just everybody, I guess everybody that attended the New Year's Eve event, that was a very well attended, very nice event. Just like last year, it rained a little bit, but then it went off, and very nice fireworks, and had a lot of people in town, and I think everybody enjoyed it very much. So, very good display. Okay, Ellen.
Well, the refrigerator went up at the community center last week, so we're purchasing a new one. That's all I have.
Okay. All right, Laura.
All right, on January 2nd, 2024, I turned off the breakers for the Christmas lights. On January 10th, I requested a PIA for November and December. On January 11th, I was going to attend the CCRC meeting, but it was canceled due to lack of quorum. On January 11th, I received a call from Ellen that a resident at Shriner Court, I think it was like, 8 o'clock at night when you called me? That a resident had a leak in her hot water heater.
Oh, yeah, it was really nice.
And the resident was unable to reach anyone for service. So I reached out to Joy Bowman, who is the new property manager, and she was able to assist the resident by gathering buckets of water for her personal use, shutting off the hot water heater, and then she went above and beyond by helping the resident strip her bed, which I thought was very kind. And Joy, I guess, texted me back like at 9:30 that all that had happened, so she was up late helping this resident, so I'm very thankful to have Joy. On January 12th, I called Potomac Edison to have the power turned off for the Christmas lights. On January 16th, I spoke to Joy at Shriner Court and Dawn regarding the snow on the sidewalks because their maintenance man was working at Quantum's other property in Frederick and was unable to come to Shriner to shovel. And on January 22nd, I emailed the 4th grade teachers again regarding the If I Were Mayor contest. The due date has moved forward to March 8th, and they have not reached out to me or contacted me since I reached out to them in December, so getting a little nervous there. So the timer for the Christmas lights is not working properly, so it turned off but not turned on. So my husband and I turned on the Christmas lights every night at 5 o'clock. So I'd like to thank him for his help. And I'd also like to thank Kenny Kiefer for taking down the Christmas lights in a very timely manner this year.
Okay. All right. Amy.
I attended the December 18th council meeting. I attended the New Year's Eve event, Food and Fun. It was a really good time. I personally did not receive any complaints on streets or maintenance.
Well, I think our street people did a tremendous job with the snow and salting and everything. I know there was a couple of people who don't think it was very good, but they ought to ride to some of the other towns and see how theirs, when they have full-time maintenance people and we have part-time people that are working. I think our streets are in very good shape. So I think they've rode around, and I know Donald rode around, and I've seen different people out. So they've taken care of mostly all the streets, the hills, and we try not to salt all the streets because the salt management that the state of Maryland has in, we do the hills when we have to, and so it doesn't run off into the storm drains. So the biggest thing is to make people aware of keeping, when you blow the snow or you shovel snow, keep it away from the fire hydrants, and when you're shoveling out, do not throw it completely out in the middle of the street, but also keep the storm drains open so when it starts to melt, it runs down into the storm drains. We always have a problem with the storm drains being closed up. So especially they're talking about this weekend having or this coming week, a lot of rain, and it's going to heat up. So it's a possibility that Main Street could be closed if the street is flooded. Main Street will be closed, so you're going to have to find another route in and out of town. Hopefully it doesn't happen, but we're looking at the snow melting this weekend, plus 4 days of rain, so it's a possibility that we could be flooded on Main Street and then down here at Locust Street by the sewer treatment plant. So be aware of your travels this coming weekend in case the roads are flooded. Nobody, it says turn around, don't drown, and that's what they mean, because these newer cars, believe it or not, 3 inches of water with a good new car will float downstream. I've seen it happen, and that's the reason why you tell you do not drive through standing water. So I don't want to see anybody drown. I don't think it's not fair to our fire department. Emergency personnel have to go out and try to save somebody's life because they think they can go through a foot of water. You know, everybody's life is at stake, so let's be considerate of everybody else. So hopefully we don't have to do that, but it could happen, so I'm hoping not. It messes up our sewer plant, it messes up our Main Street traveling in and out of town. So we'll keep our eyes out, ears open, and hopefully we don't have to do that this weekend. Does anyone else have anything for our council meeting tonight? It seems like we have a very short meeting tonight. No audience tonight. I guess the weather keeping everybody in. Okay. And we don't have our police report. Did you have anything on that, other than it's been very quiet around town? Okay, our next meeting, our work session meeting for February will be February the 12th. Our next council meeting will be February the 26th. And if we have nothing else, we're in line for adjournment.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
And any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Those? All right, thank you very much. We'll see you next month.